Hi! My sound is now on because I'm a doofus and forgot to turn on the mic. Right now, everyone can hear me, I hope. So as I was saying, yeah, this after stream was pretty hilarious because we found out why you have a paint pokey tool. You know, these things. You see, because if you don't actually unclog the bottle, it can come out in a big, huge spurt. And I think he lost half of a Reaper bottle of, yeah, this is my pirate one. He lost like half a bottle of gold paint that landed all over his palette when he didn't clear out the bottle. So we had so much fun at his expense. You know, that's what we usually do. Double entendre everything. Ah, my nose is itchy. Alright, so I am continuing work on Mr. Barbarian. I did a little work. You'll notice actually this if you were with me last time, you'll notice that I added the sword. I actually put it on there and sort of gave him a strap to hold it on there. I'm not a sculptor. It's probably not the most pretty thing, but it does the trick. It'll give you the right idea. So now I gotta paint the sword and the strap. And I might start with the strap because I really hate it green. So how are people tonight? I know Mini Mommy's here. I don't know. I see someone else is here, but I have no idea who it is. And I'm gonna apparently throw all my stuff around. Alright, so let me see if I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it a leather color. I'll probably do it just the light leather color I have. Oh yeah, I probably should pull the stuff out of my paint box I have sitting in here. I've got a couple minis I bring back and forth to work. I do have some Space Marines I've got to prime and bring to work and start working on them. Oh, what fell out of... Huh. I found one of these little cap things, but I have no idea what it goes to. Well, maybe nothing. Actually. Alright, so I was gonna look for my leather. My Reaper leather brown. So of course, if you guys have anything you've been working on, I know Mini Mommy, you paint minis. If you have anything you're working on you want to share, I'd love to see it, of course. Because other people inspire me. Just like I hope I inspire other people. Which brush do I want to use? Maybe not the super skinny one. We use the regular one. What have you got? What have you got? What have you got? Yay, so let's see. What have you been working on? Ooh! Ooh, 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 I love it. I'm going to put up here in case people are watching after. Because I do put these on... oh, there we go. And there we go. That is super. You did purple too. Which automatically means I love it because it's purple. Although it's really well done. I love the way you've got the wings and this green inside. Purple and green go so good together. That whole thing is so cool. And I love what you wrote there. Mini painting is a fun and relaxing hobby with a great community behind it. And who could say no to painting something amazing? Amen to all of that. That is just so cool. You are a really good painter. Okay. Dropping things already. It hasn't even been that bad a day. But I will say this. I went to bed entirely too late last night, like always. And And, you know, instead of waking up at 6:30 like usual, we had a thunderstorm at 5:30 in the morning when my husband gets up. Now I know I probably could prime this, but paint covers green stuff. Although there's something on the brush there. Paint covers green stuff pretty well. There's still something on my brush. What the hell? You silly thing. Alright, there we go. I think I get it off of there. If not, I'll just hit it with another coat if it doesn't quite cover it up. But it should cover up pretty good. And once again, this is just basically a personal. It's for my husband, but still basically a personal mini. And yeah, the Temple Dragon is really cool. Yeah, oh no. I don't sleep either. Once I'm woken up by thunder, or if I'm awake when it's happening, I don't go to sleep. It tends to keep me up. So that was fun. And it was loud. It was loud enough. Although the weather got really nice today. I think it's not going to last. I think it's going to get back to... I don't know if it's going to get back to humid. I'd have to look at my weather app. But today was beautiful. September in New England is always, most of the time is pretty good. It's not, it's still technically summer, so the weather is still warm, but it's not usually as super hot. Heat wave, well, it's not heat wave. Heat wave is if it's 90 for 3 straight days. But the equivalent would be if it's 80 for 3 straight days around here during September. I can't get in there. I want to hide all the green. Now, if worst comes to worst, we'll do some washing too. When you put wash on stuff, it can hide some sins. So yeah, you're almost due north of me, aren't you? If I recall, I think you're up in Canada, and I think you're in Eastern Canada, if I recall correctly. So your weather should be similar, I would think. Just, you get colder weather. Yeah, New Brunswick's like due north of me. I've been there. It's a lovely country up there. New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. I did that trip once. I said it was just so. Canada's beautiful. I guess every country's beautiful in their own way. Well, I think I'm just going to go in there and paint that too, because that is, I think I used this leather color. Oh! I'll have to go catch that later. But there was some green that got on. Green stuff got on it, so I have to paint it over anyways. Okay, and as it does, it's definitely drying a little darker. I wish I was a better sculptor. That's my one thing. I really wish I was a better sculptor. But as I said, it'll do the trick. People will get the idea. So, what part of New Brunswick are you from? What are you near that's I might have heard of? Just out of curiosity. Unless I'm making conversation here. All right. Let that dry a little bit because I'm gonna now grab and wash Fredericton. Oh yeah. I'm trying to remember what that's near. I think I've been to Fredericton. I think when we went on the trip, we actually went through there. I said every day it's so lovely up there. Oh no, it's a Pete the Hydrator. Stop by. You actually used the hydrator key this time. Guess what? You didn't use it on Saturday because I kept looking. There's a nice big drink for you. How you doing? It's good to see you. I don't expect you to stay long because I know it's late over in your part of the world. But I'm always happy to see you drop in and drop a hydrate. So I want to tint this. I do want to make it a little darker. Actually, I gotta go in there. I can see. I can see some more green. Of course, I wash it. The washing in there. I'm tired. I work at in 7. Oh, you're at work in 7 hours? That sounds about like my usual night, if that. I go to bed way later than I should. I'm happy with that. I go to bed way later than I should. So, let's see, if I go to bed at 1, 7, oh no, it's about 8 hours. It's about 8 hours before I go to work. It's not that ridiculous. But it's not really that good either. Wait, no, I go to I go to work at 7:30. I go to bed at 1, sometimes 1:30. So that's 6 hours before I have to go to work. See, I'm not that smart. I'm nocturnal. No, I'm a nocturnal being, so I tend to stay up at night. I just don't like going to bed. So a lot of times when I use washes, I actually use them to tint the actual color. Hey, Kevin. And how are you doing? And once again, I said if either of you guys have anything you want to share, go right ahead. If you get any links, anything you're working on. Oh, and Kevin, just as a reminder, this Sunday, not Saturday, is the next painting party at the Queen's Gambit. Same bad time, same bad channel. Probably should start making sure I advertise it around. But there is an event for it. They did make one a while ago. Facebook is good. I'm glad Facebook's reminding you. I will actually repost it on my own page. Carol's page. I'll repost it later this week. I could put it on the I could put it on my painting page too, I guess. But it'll be so nice to hopefully see Big Jim. Since I haven't seen him since ReaperCon. I want to highlight this. What do I want to highlight with? Oh no, that's gold. I don't want to highlight it with that. Nodbone. That's not a bad color. I might take and actually mix it into that leather brown to make a color that's a bit blended. A lot of the paints I have out, I have a little paint rack here, and a lot of those are like special paints that came in fast palettes or through conventions or other Reaper promotions. I have so many of them that I filled up the paint rack and I've got no more room on the paint rack. And I have more promotional stuff. I didn't fill it up until after this ReaperCon. So what was that? Well, that's a Jungle Juicy. It's a Jake. It's my ReaperCon roomie. I had so much fun. Hi, Jake. It's so good to see you. I gotta tell you this much. I'm happy being home, but God, I miss you too. You and Gareth were you made that con. I mean, it was good to begin with, but you made it even more fun. I think I would have been, I don't want to say lost, but it wouldn't have been as much fun without people to travel around with. That is for sure. Would you say loads of fun? Hey, nice to see you too. I said I miss you guys. I wish you guys lived in New England so I could hang out with you guys here. Yeah, I mean, it said it I think it makes a big difference if you have somebody to hang around at a con with, to have dinner with and things like that. I mean, it's just so much more fun that way. Now, I'm not saying if you don't have anybody to go with, I'm not saying don't go to a con, but go anyways, but make some friends. Play lots of games. So the light's going to be pretty prevalent there. Big thing I gotta do is one thing, when I start doing maybe some minis that are more, I want to do minis that are definitely more of like the competition level, and I want to do them on the stream. When I do them, I want to start focusing more on how light hits the minis, and because that was like a bit of the feedback is I need more highlights, and I really kind of need, well, I'm taking this, that it was basically needs more highlights. But it's also keeping in mind what's, where that light is hitting. So you don't want to put like bright highlights if it's under an armpit, even if the material is, coming out. Like in reality, I probably should shade this a little here. And maybe I will. Because it's not going to hit as strongly underneath this thing here as it is, out here. So what have you been up to, Jake? I mean, I saw, obviously I was seeing your little work in progress, which was really cool. Your barrel, where you actually painted where you're painting like a cut in it. It does, when I look at it, it absolutely, as I said, it reads correctly. It reads as a It reads as a cut in the barrel. I think to see the actual mini in person, it probably is even better than seeing a photo of it. Darken that up right in there. I mean, I guess this guy's a barbarian, so his strap can look a little rougher around the edges. It's just like a scavenged piece of leather. And by the way, I did not say it. Thank you for the sub. And don't forget, I get badges and things like that if you want to use them. I heard you mention working on upping quality. I'm right there with you. As it comes to my barrel, I'm just working on finishing that up, adding some dripping glow and finishing it all up. I was wondering, actually, that's a good question. I was wondering if you were going to put anything dripping out of it that was like, you know, toxic waste type thing. Because I think that'd be really cool. You painted it well. I think the only thing is I feel like the ultimate way to make a hole in the barrel is to literally make a hole in the barrel. But I said, the way you painted it, it actually does read like a hole in the barrel. And I think it's really good. All right, I'm going to see if I can go back inside. Well, the only reason why I'm making a hole is to make it drip. Oh, cool. So you are going to add like toxic waste coming out of it. You really like your toxic waste dumps, don't you? Also, by the way, for people who don't know, Jake is also a ReaperCon silver medalist. With his Spirit of the Forest tree. I call it the Theraval tree. Although, funny story, true story, my Theraval tree set off security in the airport. When I went to ReaperCon, I brought my minis on my bag I brought on onto the airplane. Actually, I think I want to go more gray. There we go. So I put the minis on my carry-on, or on my backpack, which actually was under the seat. It wasn't like a carry-on that needed to be stored, thank God. Those were two very full flights. So I went through security. First of all, my hair apparently is a weapon of mass destruction because both times they had to pat my back, and I think it's because of the hair. I actually asked the guy in Texas, like, is it my hair that's doing it? Because I got really long hair. You know, and he goes, actually, it could be. And I mean, I had it braided too, so you think that would help. But it didn't help. And then they took my bag and they searched it. Now, at least they search it right in front of you, okay, when it happens. Hey, Rod! Oh, thank you. I'm glad you don't think I'm a bad sculptor, not a bad painter. But here's my Rolf the Friendly Barbarian, who's my husband's character. So, but anyways, I could see the X-ray picture, and sure enough, what pinged the X-ray was my flippin' tree. And actually, I think the Naga did as well. That was the second biggest piece I had, and both of them pinged the thing, causing the TSA agent to search my stuff. But he was really cool, and when I said, please just be really careful. I'm going to a convention where I'm bringing miniatures for a competition. Please be careful. And of course they have gloves on anyways. And he took a look and he thought it was really cool. So, you know, he was like, wow, this is really pretty. So he enjoyed my work. So I can't complain. Rod, by the way, Rod, you are always welcome to hang around. I think you're you're definitely one of the more entertaining people I know. We can always talk about Mortar Stream this afternoon. I wrote at the beginning of this stream, I can't guarantee I'll be as entertaining as Michael Mortar spurting his paint all around. But you find out what the freaking pokey tool was really for. Alright, what am I doing? I'm doing his big long huge sword. It was! I think you mean classic, right? It was friggin' hilarious. And I'll tell you what, there was so many jokes that could be made from spurting your paint around. It just almost was too easy. Actually, I think it's like, washing your brush in your drink rather than your wash water. I think in spilling, anything in these bottles, we've all been there before. We've all said, we have all like spurted out the paint. I've gotten lazy. You get lazy. And you just figure a little more pressure will do it. And then it just comes out in a big, huge blob. I've done that. As I mentioned also taking, but gold, I don't know. I mean, I've been painting for like 30 years, so I don't know. It's possible. I probably have, actually. I've done it for a bunch of bottles. But you said you just get lazy and complacent, and then it's like, well, there goes a half a bottle of gold paint. I agreed with Nate. I saw Nate's comment, why doesn't he just pour it back in the bottle? Yeah, I was wondering why, because I've actually mentioned it's kind of a challenge, but if you make turning something into a little funnel, you can get the paint back in. I've actually taken the when I spill the washes, Citadel washes, I've actually taken my paper towel, soaked it up, and squished it back in the bottle, and kind of shoved it back in the bottle. So you can get it back in there. So these are a little more difficult because the tips are pretty. You can basically these come out though. The nipples. They call it is the nipples. And you think about it, it is kind of a nipple. I'm going to turn this into a mature stream, and you see. I guess as long as I'm not showing any nipple, it's all well and good. Now here comes the fun part. I have to figure out the non-metal metallic on this thing. The axe is just so much easier because it's got so many curves and bumps and things like that. It makes it way easier to figure out how that should read. This big straight piece is a lot more difficult. Think about it. So my light's kind of coming this way. That's why these 2 points are the highlights. So I mean, this thing is kind of straight, so I think I will just paint it. And the light's still coming from relatively up top. It's not coming from left to right per se. What I want to do is leave the shadow in the just before each transition point there. I was gonna say, I've been painting for not 30 years. I've been painting for like 20 plus years, somewhere in there. I'll be painting for 20 years until I actually get to 30 years, and then I'll just say I've been painting for 30 years. I mean, I can tell you the circumstances, but not the year. I was at my old apartment. I was doing ceramics at the time, so I think I was at apartment number 2 before I moved here. And I've been here since, when did I move here? I moved here in 2002. No, 2003. That's right. It was about a year after my dad passed away. And that was in 2002. So I moved here in 2003. So sometime before 2002, and I think before my dad passed away, was when I took up mini painting. But it wasn't, I mean, I didn't do a lot at first. You know, the first mini I ever painted was because I got back from ceramics and I was bored. Didn't have anything else to do, so I took a mini. I've told this story. Took a mini, threw some paint on it, had fun. Then about a month later, I didn't do anything until then because I knew I didn't know what the hell I was doing. A month later, though, one of the game stores I'd frequent had a mini painting day where they would teach you at least the basics. So I learned about things like primer because there was no primer on my mini. One of the other things I think, okay, let's get the paint pokey too. So don't make the same mistake Michael Lloyd did because it's not coming out. I talked with Ludo. Oh, Ludo! Ludo is awesome, by the way. Yes, you should do that. Pardon me while I pick up my paint pokey tool. Yeah, I mean, if you want any advice from me, because that's one of the things I do all the time, is I do run painting events at stores. But, I mean, you can do crazy events like that. Typically, what I like to run is a very chill event. So I like to run events where people just come by and paint, and new painters can basically try the hobby for size and see if they like it. But but that's awesome. I think it's so worthwhile to do that. So what I do for those, I mean, I guess you could always contact Reaper and see if they, get anything to help. But what I do is I buy, because it's basically what I supply is for people who don't have any mini painting supplies. So I basically, a little more shadow there, by the way. I feel like there should be, just hold that thought. I feel like there should be a little shadow in here. All right. Yeah, I plan on helping to plan casual intro paint nights and regular meet. Yeah, see that's it. So what I do is I buy a bunch of the craft paints, especially if you get kids and stuff and people who don't really know. They're adults who don't know. Most of them are pretty good once you tell them, but you get like these, and they're budget friendly. They come in a zillion colors. They work. I mean, they're not as good as, wow, the white really. The label is starting to disappear, but the white is sort of getting washed out on my camera. So I buy a bunch of those paints. I get a bunch of cheap brushes. I get both, small brushes like I use here, and I get some larger ones that they can use to mix paints or dry brush or things like that. You want paper plates. Let me tell you, you definitely want paper plates. They know that for this is what you use for a palette. Okay, because I used to use the little plastic well palettes that's got like 6 pots in them. You see them a lot when you're a kid doing like crafts and things. So but the thing I found is you have to clean them. And that's a pain in the neck. And putting paint in sinks can be a tricky proposition. you gotta be really careful where you throw it down a sink because you can clog it. You also want to get like plastic cups for your water cups, or get some water cups. But I started out with just plastic cups, and then I graduated to. I had a bunch donated, so they were like the GW water cups. And what else? Oh, paper towels. You do need paper towels. That's kind of a must. And am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. And that's what you need. And you bring that stuff with you. Now, if you're doing it at a store, I would advise. I mean, if the store wants to supply minis as for like a paint and take, then that's their prerogative. Basically, though, it's like getting your first taste of, a drug. So, hold on while I think this through. So yeah, that's basically what you need to do it. And said, thanks, Rod. Oh, you're leaving already? Brr. Well, I hope you come back, and I hope you chat, because you definitely entertain me. And you make the stream you make the stream more fun. So, see you, Rod. What else am I forgetting? Oh yeah, I usually have people buy the minis so they can support the store. If I'm at a convention, I usually I get the convention to buy the minis. But I gotta talk to Reaper. I was told to talk to Reaper, talk specifically Ed. I love you too, Rod, and I mean that. You're awesome. You said you're definitely one of those people that makes this stream a joy to do. Thinking. Think from there. I'm gonna keep this dark. Yeah, I'm trying to think of two things at once here. How to run a painting event. But that's basically, in a nutshell, what I do. Then we just hang out and we paint. For like 3 hours. 4 hours. 4 hours. The one of the Queen's Gambit is like 4 hours long. But I want to keep that relatively dark because it's definitely not getting a ton of light in there. But I want to have a little bit of a contrast here on the parts that stick upwards. I'm sort of taking Anne's advice right now. When the dark areas, keep the mid-tone as your highlight, and the light areas, keep your mid-tone as your shadow. Such good advice. So let's see, today, by the way, I actually went and signed up to go to another convention. I'm going to go to Carnage. This one I'm not doing, at least I may do some painting at it, but it'll be in my room. I sadly did not see any painting events, but because I want to just go and hang out and play games, I'm not volunteering to run any. Maybe that makes me a bad muse. Bad muse. All right. Now we gotta go and bump this up a notch. But I'm excited. Basically, their events went live, and I knew I had to actually buy my badge last night so I could get my events, my games today. But in the past, it's funny. In the past, they have actually had. Pardon me while I look for something. There we go. Look for something to mix my paint with. Basically, I'm taking and making, adding a little moonstone blue. These are Reaper colors, and you can look under that name to my Tempest Gray, which is what I just painted on there to make a lighter color. Speaking of which, it looks like I'm being pinged by my people I'm rooming with there. There's a whole group of us that go to Carnage, and the neat thing about that is it's actually at a ski resort, so you can rent out the ski condos, and technically it's still off season. So the prices are really cheap. 5 nights for like $150. How can you beat that? I definitely want this in the middle to be white, so... what am I doing here? I think I'll come back in with a little bit of my color I just used, which was that Tempest Gray, which makes a nice steely gray. And come back down on this edge and darken it a little bit. You all went quiet. Be warned, this is going to become an instructional video. So I want my light to basically peak at the peak. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do next after Rolf the Barbarian. It's not like I have a lack of projects to do either. You're making goop! Well, once again, I said if you're all quiet because you're hobbying, I'm actually really good with that. Is this goop to go in that barrel? Goop. Oh, see, there you go. Well, I was gonna say, there you go. You could come hang out at another con with me, but I'm not really. It's not really near you, Jake. Cause it's up in Vermont. At Mount Snow. Obviously, there will be no stream that week. Oh, by the way, way, Jake, since you are listening, if you have anything you want to share, like in terms of any really cool pictures of stuff you've done, hint, hint, feel free to throw a link into the chat. I can also tell it's a Monday. Mondays typically around here are pretty slow because everybody's just... Seriously? Have you got a picture of the goop that... And actually, you could even do it on Discord, too. That's what I should do. I should go on Discord and show off all the goblin pictures that you guys post. I love... It said, you may not always be obvious, but I do actually... From time to time, I do sneak in there and I look to see what everybody's doing, so... This isn't even white. This is just foggy gray, which is fairly white. So what is the... So if you're done making the goop, tell me what'd you do to make this goop? Like, what is it made out of? And it said, what is it, like toxic waste goop? Just painted. Oh, it's not actual goop. It's the toxic waste. Yeah, okay, it's a toxic waste thing. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, no worries on time. I can't wait to see this. I'm gonna start calling you the mini painting toxic avenger. Because you seem to have... I see a theme on some of your stuff. Yeah, I consider maybe putting gloss varnish that... You probably could. I mean... You probably could add a gloss varnish to it. And it would look nice. Alright, I'm going to go back in with a little bit of the darker, but not too dark silver or gray. Kind of. Alright, let's check this out. Oh wow, you get that up quick. Oh my god, that looks so freaking... That looks so good. Alright, here, wait, I'm gonna put it up so that everybody can see. Oh yeah, that... Wow. I mean, if you didn't actually put holes in those spots, I mean, I never would know. That's spot on. What I really like here is on this one, you've got this highlight here. It makes it look like it's a, how do I put it? Like light striking down on a surface. That came out really freaking good. Let's see, what's the other? Also, I love all the like corrosion and the orange. I love all this other color. I also dig the fact you made them purple to start with. Friggin' cool, Jake. Oh man, you're gonna surpass me at some point. This is really good. I like doing terrain because it tends to be faster. But yeah, terrain you can do so much with. I mean, because you think about a lot. I mean, a lot of you got flat surfaces that you can really freehand and such. So that makes a lot of sense. Alright, let's see if I can now. I'm working on finishing, quote unquote, the minis I did at ReaperCon, so you just get them away from the table. Oop, I moved my. See, we also talked about this on his stream today about not staying on the X. Oh, I will never finish all the minis that I start. I mean, there's a couple I want to do. I'm thinking I want to do the one I started in the bottles class. Because I really like the way that the bottle came out. And it's a metal mini, so I can probably make it look really good. But a lot of those ReaperCon minis are gonna probably likely sit on my shelf somewhere. I'm also debating what I want to do with it's not Angelica Fairweather, but you know, the female pirate there. What I'm gonna do with like 3 of those. I want to just kind of fuzz the edges a little bit. Oh, I like that. So, there's one I want to... Oh, I've determined something, by the way. Since I came pretty close with my mouseling. Like, as I said, I'm happy it was up for consideration. That's my white. But since I did actually get into contention, I'm going to probably try to do another mouseling. I started one, and out of all things, a Earth Sky non-metal metallic class that was taught at, I'm so glad it inspired you to do one. They're so much fun to paint. Oh my God. They are just a blast to actually paint. But, I really appreciate that. I have like the set of all those adventurers done. I actually have like a little diorama I want to build for that, because I have one of the larger snakes too, and they're going to be all fighting the snake, because that's, well, if you think about Redwall, that's what they did. Their equivalent of a dragon was, I believe his name was Asmodeus, and he was a snake. It's exactly why they're so much fun to paint, is they are adorable. But also, so I started one. It was a space mouseling. So he's got, it's almost like a space marine mouseling. And I started doing it in a Sky Earth non-metallic metal class for Reaper Virtual, I think. And so far, it was coming out pretty, like, I didn't get very far because it was just a class, but what I did in class was pretty good. So I think if I do that and I do it right, I think I'll bring that at some future ReaperCon, and it will have a fighting chance in that category, I think. So this is a bit of pure white. All right, so what do I see that I need to fix up here? I think the big thing I want to fix up here is I need more shadow right here. "100%. Yeah, thank you." It said, only reason why I want to do it is because A, I started it, and I'm actually happy with the way it's going, so hopefully it'll come out good. I said, I keep hoping. I would really like to go back next year. And every year. Because to me, it's just, as I said, the trajectory of my life, clearly mini painting is going to be my legacy. So why not do things to work on enhancing that legacy? It's what I'm going to be known for. So, you know, I feel like ReaperCon is a rather important part of my life. So I sort of discovered that when last year when ReaperCon basically all went online and I could actually participate. And I realized how much good the classes did. And this was even better. Being in person was definitely better than just being virtual. Because of the feedback and such that I could get in person. Alright, I'm getting a little overzealous here. Alright, how does that read? I feel like I need a little more lightness. I think my brush has a bit of a mind of its own here. Can't do a thing with it. As I said, with nominal metallics, I tend to go back and forth a lot, so I'm happy with it. Oftentimes I go too far one way or the other and have to come back and split the difference. Also helps sometimes to have a little bit of wet on wet to blend things in a little better. That's not bad. Also, it's a little tricky. To me, it's a little tricky too when you're not working on something that's huge. To get all the colors in that you want. That's shiny. Okay, that looks pretty shiny. Maybe it shouldn't. Maybe these things shouldn't look so shiny. Because let's face it, barbarian. probably doesn't take the best. Well, Rolf might actually take care of his gear, actually. He's a fairly cultured barbarian. No. Stop sneaking into my dark place there. Stop sneaking into my shadow. So now I'm going to do the top of the sword, which should be fairly light. I'm just going to make this all metal. Because why not? And I want a little bit of a shadow coming off that. Not back. See, I'm being picky here. Persnickety. Alright. During thought, it's very nice. Oh, wait. We missed one. Just think about how I fell in love with Walnut Brown and Reaper Con. Just during thought, it's a very nice dark brown. I saw brown. I know you mean brown. It is. I think it's a color that a lot of people like. And it has been mentioned on more than one occasion that people really like that color. Did I killed all my white. What the frickin'? I think I killed my highlight. Like, completely. But this is the stuff I do. I ended up buying a couple colors when I was there because I heard people say how good they were. One was Ancient Oak. I can't remember what else. I know Ancient Oak is one of them. Are they sitting on my desk? I bought a few colors. Oh, the one thing I'm really excited about, although it's in my closet. So you know how when you spent Reaper, the doubloons, one of the things they actually have were they have like a grab bag of paints, which honestly they weren't out anywhere. I just happened to see them, you know, shuffling through a box of the random paints, and it's like, so how much for that? And they're like, how much you got left? Because this was like Sunday. I'm like, well, I have like 600 left. Deal. So they hand me a bag of paints. And one of the colors in it was Maggot White, which they don't make anymore. And it's such a good white. It's a greenish white. Yeah, you probably, do you know the color? Be jealous because now I have like 2 of those. I have one that I had already, and then I just got this, and I'm like, oh my god, mine! I'm so happy I have that because yeah, you can't buy it anymore. I'm wondering what else in that thing might be discontinued paint too, but I don't think all of it was. I love their IMEF olive, and it's out of I think I got olive highlight actually. Yeah, they killed a bunch of their paint colors, sadly. They just cowboy leather. I don't have cowboy leather. I have well, thank you. You give me more ideas to buy more paint. I have leather brown, which I really like, which is what I painted that strap with. Was leather brown, and then put some wash over it to darken it a little bit. But what else did I buy? I bought a bunch of colors. I did buy I bought the stone gray triad because I didn't have enough. I feel like I don't have enough grays. I'm trying to remember what else. I know I bought ancient oak. I bought another green too. Like, I want to say wilderness green, but I think that's the one I already own. I hear my neighbor. I live in a two-family house, so my neighbor is literally in the wall next to me, but I hear him outside. I don't hear. Actually, these walls are really. Naturally, they got fireproofing stuff between the two units too, but I can. If it, we have a deck that goes out back. He's always out there cooking on it. I sit there and smell the food, and it's so good. I'm hungry half the time here. My neighbors are cool though. Looks like I gotta bring a little bit of that shadow back. That's right here. We could play, yeah, what's your favorite color? I say I like a lot of Water Reaper's colors. The only thing I find is that, they don't have everything. That's why it's good to vary things around. Still seeing something in. It's like I look at different angles, and then when I change the angle, it looks different. From Reaper, honestly, it's probably Surf Aqua. I think if that's the... Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I might have that one. If it's part of like a sea... Yeah, I love that triad. It may not be purple, but I love that triad. I think teals and things are probably my second favorite colors. I love teal. Shh, don't tell purple that. I don't want purple to get jealous. But that isn't... Yeah, that whole triad is fantastic. Actually, that should be... come way down. As I said, I figured that was one I had. That is a good color. Let's face it, Reaper makes a lot of really good colors. But then again, I think, as I said, there's a lot of companies that make good colors. Reaper and, to me, Reaper, Viejo, and Games Workshop, they have a pretty big range of colors in all their paint lines, which I appreciate. I do agree with you. You know, it's funny. I don't think I actually have a purple triad. I got plenty of purple paints, but no actual, like, purple triad. Probably because purple's not hard to mix. Yeah, as I said, I go back and forth on this, and here I am going back and forth. Well, at least when I bang my own table, I'm not upsetting anyone else working at it. I say it's one of the greatest sins at a mini painting table is to bang the table. I'm generally blazing through these leftover speed paint minis. Well, that makes sense. I'm not even sure I'm going to go back on them. I may, as I said, I already, oh no, I brought it downstairs. I used her yesterday. So, as I said, oh, Sophie says, bang the table you parted. Yeah, but you gotta do it right when Sophie says, so they would expect it. That would be rude. That would be so rude. I still think the Twitter suggestion was kind of funny, which was Sophie says to keep your brush hand still and move your God damn it. And move the hand that's moving. Move the hand that's holding the mini only. And we have like 20 layers of paint on here. That usually happens when I do non-metal metallics. I go back and forth until I'm happy. And I just dropped something on the floor. What did I drop on the floor? Oh, I dropped the paint pokey tool again. What the hell's wrong with me? Yeah, paint with the mini. That was an evil suggestion. I'm glad none of us brought that one to Ludo. But he seemed like a cool guy. It must have been fun to work with him. So does he actually do like painting events and things, you know, at stores in Texas or something? He has plants a few different ways. Ah, cool. So when he does he do like the shenanigans stuff? Or is he just really set up paint and takes and things like that? This should have stayed lighter. I think that's where he started with the crazy stuff. Oh, at the stores? Well, it depends also how long he's been doing this stuff. Because back about 20 years ago, or maybe a little less than that, they used to have a Black Lightning program where you would go around, where Reaper would actually sanction you to go around to stores and things like that and play Sophie Says. Because I remember playing Sophie Says with Cheryl Storm, who ended up years ago moving to Texas and actually working. She was working for Reaper itself until she retired last year, I think it was. She was at the con, and sadly I never bumped into her. And I think I saw her once. I think I saw her at the award ceremony, because I think she was the one that got up on stage. But she basically would do events at stores, and she would do like Sophie Says. Because I remember, I think she did the paint by dye too. So I'm wondering if that's where it came out of, is he was a Black Lightning rep back in the day. And then they got rid of the whole program. Which I said kind of made me sad, because I was I was considering whether or not I wanted to actually get involved. And then they killed it. I think part of it was, with me, was just that you had, the demands were it was a little tough in terms of the demands for your scheduling. You had to run like so many events a quarter, and they all had to be at different locations and things like that. And it's like, in different events, it's like, and then they did away with it, much to my chagrin. Today, I don't think I'd have any issues with it, because the amount of stores and stuff I have contacts with. I would just go around to all the different stores and say, hey, can I run an event here? I'm looking at my Mini. My Mini actually looks pretty cool on camera. Maybe I should leave it alone. I don't want to leave it on. I'm not quite, but I'm looking through with my glasses. I can see things that I'm not picking up on camera. That I don't find are straight enough. I think you should. I think that is such a, it's you'll find it really worthwhile. And I said, if you have any questions for me, I said, I've run events. If you want to do cons, I mean, that's another thing too you could look into, are doing conventions. If you have any in your neighborhood. But basically, well, they do. Basically, you go to. Basically, for a con, is that you bring like all supplies. Oh, gee, thanks, Dio. Once in a while, he's gonna change it up. I haven't like dropped a band hammer in your head like in a while. How you doing, Dio? And by the way, I'll probably will drop in on paint night, so yay. I can't wait. What time is it anyways? 8:20. Okay, I've got another 40 minutes. Now I realize I think I'm going to have to make this side a lot lighter. So at cons, basically I find cons that don't have any mini events or starting up, or, well, I'm going to pick up another con for next year. It's a brand new con, and they're people who know me from one of the other ones I do, and they really like what I do there. So they're going to put me on for a trial basis of a day. But if it goes well, it'll probably be working all convention long. And I found that does work. I went to PortCon, Maine, and they did that. They had me do it one day, and then 100 people showed up. So they realized that this was a thing. And then they had me back for, for like the whole event. Actually, they're pretty cool there, because what they do is, like some of the cons, I basically work from like whenever the start of the morning is, so like 8 or 9 o'clock, usually 9 o'clock, I think. And then I go until about, I want to say 5 o'clock, have dinner, and then I play games at night. One of the other cons I do, I basically set my own hours. So I start at like 8:30, and I've gone like 8:30 to midnight. 8:30 in the morning to midnight. But I've sort of kept, but what happens is I'm dragged off. Basically the con chair says, go play a game. So I go play a game. And it's a good deal. It's a ton of fun. It's a total con. I said I start like 8 or 9 o'clock, and I end at about 5, and then I play games at night. PortCon is interesting because basically I go and I work about a 2-hour shift a day, and that's it. But it's enough. Actually, is it 2 hours or 4 hours? It's not like hugely long. I think it's 4 hours, come to think of it. I think it's like one slot. So you have to determine that what you want to work. But the thing of it is, the con will do things like they'll actually put you up at the con. They'll actually give you a hotel room because you're working there enough that you qualify. So it's a good deal. Yeah, I mean, yeah, PortCon puts me up. TotalCon gives me a hotel room. OGC doesn't, but they're friends of mine, so I do that as a kind of a favor for them. But they do get me the minis. So I do. For a while there, I was supplying the minis too, because I sort of, it was sort of like my thing. Still not pleased with this thing. I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going wrong with this thing that I don't like. And that is that I'm going to make the right side darker and I need the left side lighter. And I'm pretty sure that's where I'm going wrong with it. I said, sometimes I have to play with these things to figure out what I'm going to do with it. And I really didn't have a plan before I started this tonight. I'm going to go back. Okay, that reads a little better. want to go and darken up this side. It still isn't like straight either. You guys are gonna think I'm a terrible painter after this. It's the non-metal metallic. It is a challenge. But it's a worthwhile challenge to do. At least in my view, it's a worthwhile challenge to do. Oh, yeah, exactly. When it works, it really works. That's why it's a worthy challenge. Because when it works, it looks, oh my God, it looks amazing. Wait, no, don't do that. Do not paint a whole army of metal metallics. Oh my God. Dude. Oh Lord. You couldn't pay me enough to do an entire army in non-metal metallics. It will look cool. I have no doubt. You know, I say that now, and I'm going to start painting my orcs. And I'm going to look at those. You know, I'm a mini painter. This is for Armies on Parade. Yeah, exactly. Armies on Parade. Why do you think I bought the Kill Team set? You know? For all that orc terrain. Yeah, I'm going to be like, Armies on Parade. I want to go for painter. And I'm going to paint the whole friggin' thing non-metal metallic. And I'm going to be like, you're an absolute moron because you really want to just get it to field on the... My best friend wants to play, so... I can't... I guess what I'll do is I'll be filming a lot in progress. Plus, I also just... I don't think I have time to do something like that. I mean, it'll look incredible. But I don't know if I got that kind of time. I'm going way off my mark here. Oops. It'll be done. Yeah, exactly. Maybe you got all the time in the world. Yeah. I wish I had all the time in the world. I really do. Because that would look amazing. Although the other thing is, orcs are kind of... Although the orcs are kind of grubby. To me, non-metal metallic works best when it's like shiny people. You know, new and... I have to figure out how to do it. Well, exactly. And it does. I think your work already speaks for itself. It's friggin', you are friggin' good. Yeah, I have to take a look. I mean, my army, the one thing I don't want is it to look uniform. It's orcs. I don't want it to be uniform. Alright, I'm gonna go back in. You must have the... Where do you have that stuff posted, by the way? You must have it posted somewhere. I assume on your Twitter page. Because now it's gotta, like, I feel like I gotta go back and look at it. Oh, you are finding it. One thing I definitely want to do, speaking of busts, I definitely want to, well, at some point I'm going to put together the Angelica bust that we got at ReaperCon. I'm pretty sure I want to paint it too, because that thing looks so cool. I'm trying to darken that up a little bit. There we go. Alright, let me check this out. Oh, that... Here, I'm going to put it up so I can actually... Oh, he is cool. I love his craggy face and... So is that... Oh my god, that is not metal metallic. That is really good because honestly, that is really hard to tell that that's not metal metallic. That actually looks like metal. That looks friggin' cool. I look at yours, I look at my thing here, go, it needs more contrast. Because, you know, that seems to always be the deal. It needs more contrast. It looks really cool. And it does. It looks like... On that note, I'm gonna friggin... darken up the side a little bit. That may be a hint too, is like paint everything dark and then actually paint only a few highlights on it. That might be a direction to go. I wonder if I put too much light in my stuff. It is getting warm in my room here. I can tell my hubby's watching Star Trek. And specifically Next Generation. Although I'm pretty happy with the axe. That's got a pretty good amount of contrast on it. See, here's why I won't do a flippin' army in non-metallic. Because it's taken me 2 freaking hours, or an hour and a half, to just do this sword. Well, I think I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna lighten this up just a hair. Well, I think I'm pretty happy with that. It takes me forever. What do you mean you have no choice in paying? I didn't bring any of my metallics from Michigan when I moved to Chicago. Well, you know, that's what the internet's for. Or your friendly local gaming store. Go get some! Oh, Lord. Well, the happiest I've ever been with No Metal Tech was with that Halloween diorama. I was very happy with the way that read. I'm just gonna go nitpick some details. I mean, I guess it looks okay. This is said, this is for a gaming. Straight threes, very. Oh yeah. I was proud of me. Actually, how did you? What was your silver? Was it straight threes or was it a 3 and a 2? I don't think it was a 3 and a 4 because 4s are friggin' like impossible to get. Oh, so you're right. So you get the same thing. So basically, you get the same thing I did on the Drew. Actually, I found out something from Anne. So basically, they really were actually deciding as a team what level silver it was, and just one of them would put the 2 on there. It was like randomly who put the 2. So Brian was full of shit. So basically, we were both determined that they were low silvers. But they were silvers, which meant they're good. Yeah, I mean, I agree with it too. After the feedback I got, I agree with it. In fact, I said, I spent most of the con saying, I'll be happy with a bronze. I was expecting at least a couple of bronzes. I didn't expect 2 silvers. That still is, like, kind of surprising to me. So, he's almost done. I think actually all I've left to do is the pace. I think that's finished. Good enough. Fine for what I'm doing. I think well, it's funny because I was very not surprised when they said it needs more, needs more highlighting, which come to think of it, Rolf probably does in his hair and stuff too. I tried, like, I want to bump up my highlights, especially on, like, competition level pieces. These things I do for myself, you know, as long as they look good and they read nice on a gaming table, that's all I care. But when it comes to competition pieces, I do want to step it up. I do really want to step up the highlights. I want contrast, like, more like what's on the sacks. Yeah, Jungle said, one thing I've been learning is to do thinking, can I go one step higher somewhere? And Girls said the word extreme highlights, and that stuck with me. Yeah, that's, extreme highlights is probably right. I think that's the thing, like they said, I should go almost white on hair. Well, you know what, I've got white. Oh, I did kind of go white on his hair, so... If you actually look at the top here, it is white. So maybe I won't go any more whiter. Just little dabs of white or white and then glaze with the original color. Yeah, that makes sense. I need to, I wonder if the gain, I keep looking at my camera and I feel like the camera's too bright. See if I can kill the light just a hair. Although, you know, I use this light on my camera as my painting light, so. Also looks like maybe I have to fix the zoom. Although when I paint, I tend to hold it lower. White, I mean, I was told pure white is good for things like metallics. Metallics and shiny things. You should go to white. That's why they said to me, hair is technically shiny. So, white. That's why I use white on hair. I mean, I know, and it's going to say, I talked to one of the other artists and they said, that's true. They said, like, you know, probably hair like, well, mine can be shiny, but if you get really, like, frizzy hair like mine, yeah, if it's grimy, not too shiny. If it's, like, frizzy, I have frizzy hair syndrome, especially in the summer. They say, yeah, maybe not as much that. I know, right? I told you, you convince your girlfriend to move to New England. Move to Massachusetts or southern New Hampshire. She'd be all for that, right? I mean, admittedly though, I'm glad you're on my stream talking to me. West Coast? No, too far away. Boston's, you might want to live outside of Boston. Live outside of Boston and, I'm trying to remember what I did to do my base on my other Chicky. Because that's what I got left, and maybe I should just paint it. Boston is really... Yeah, no, Boston's, like most cities, Boston's expensive. So you want to look out, you want to look around Boston. Although Massachusetts, I hate to say it, and New Hampshire right now is actually everywhere is expensive. It's not just here. I'm trying to remember what the hell I painted. Sandiel's base. I don't think it really matters because I cover it in snow anyways. I know I had some sparkling snow. Probably had the peppermint white and sparkling snow. Because why not? Use my holiday colors. It is warm. That's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna start with the sparkling snow. I definitely I like living where I live. I'm about an hour north of Boston, not far from the ocean. One town away, basically. So I can practically spit in New Hampshire. It is about 1 mile up the road, north, obviously, from where I'm at right now. And I really like living here. So the sparkling snow is like a blue. Oh, this is not going to cover. It's a problem. Sparkling. Yeah, maybe I should just paint it white. I think actually now I think about it, I did paint it white first. Don't mind me. It's getting hot in my room. Which is funny because I didn't think it was getting hot for another couple days. And even then, hot is a relative term. Because hot this time of year tends to be the 80s instead of the 90s. That gets to be other points of the year. Like in August and July. We'll like never hit 100 here. Besides, we might have better weather here than you do. What the hell? Oh no,
I gotta have more cowbell.
I gotta get a cowbell. Great, I spilled my paint somehow. I'm not even sure. It just dripped. It just get out of my pant leg. It dripped onto my pant leg, and that's bad. Yeah, oops. Wait. Let's see. I have a sound effect. Sad trombone. There we go. Sad trombone for spilling my paint. Alright, let's see if I can quickly... Quickly is probably not a good idea. Still, I'm glad you dropped by my stream and we chatted, and I know there's like there's been at least someone else lurking about. I don't know if Kevin ever came back. He was here. I feel like a lot of my usual people aren't here tonight. But that's fine, you know. There's far more important things to do in this world than hang around on a painting stream. Oh, you going? Boo. That's alright. I'm ending in about 10 minutes anyways, so it's all good. It was really nice to chat with you, though. I don't know if I'm going to raid tonight. There's only like... I'm going to go do paint night tonight, so... It was awesome to chat with you. As I try to quickly paint this, I'm going to add snow to it later. When it's done, I'll show it off on stream. We won't be missing much on stream. I can figure out what I'm going to do next time. Because I'm not even sure. I've got ideas of things I could do. I know what. It's Pirate Month. Because this is the month of Talk Like a Pirate Day. I should paint a pirate. And after I bought all that Brinewind stuff, I got plenty of pirates to choose from. But maybe I should paint my favorite one. I should paint Angelica Fairweather. 'Cause she's the coolest. Alright, now I'm going to take this snow, sparkling snow stuff. I'm just going to kind of apply it. I don't care if it mixes in. I'm not really needing it to completely cover. And I'm going to put snow on it anyways. Alright. I may be creeping a little bit up on the boots, but I'm also going to put some snow around them. I want my boots to look like they're in the snow. Huh. That's weird. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna let that dry. So I'm gonna pick this a little bit. And I'm going to, yeesh. All right, don't get my white colors confused. All right. Whew. Just taking a look at it. I think I'm just going to, oh. Basically glazing a little bit of the lighter color on here to sort of make it blend. Maybe not that much. All right, I think that is good enough. I want to thank whoever's left for hanging in there until the bitter end. I would thank people for the bits and stuff, but they've all gone. I hope you have a lovely night. I hope anybody who might watch this later, they have a lovely day. And I will be back on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Same bat channel, same bat, it's not 7 o'clock, 8:30. Same bat channel, same bat time. Have a lovely night to whoever you are out there, and hope to see you later.